guys! Today we are going to talk about money. So, I feel like financial type videos have been a little bit requested lately, not by a ton of people, but by a few. A couple people wanted to see a budgeting video, which at the time I told them I can't really do that, we don't really budget. And I also mentioned we're doing a no spend challenge, and a couple of you wanted to hear about that. So, I am actually going to be combining those two things. This is not going to be an excellent budgeting video, as previously stated. We don't really budget in a very specific way, but I'm going to tell you what we do, and then talk about the no spend challenge. So let's get started. I have a lot of notes here in my little handy dandy notebook. So Ryan is obviously the one who works. I stay home with Aaliyah, so I am not bringing in income. Technically I make very little money off of YouTube, but I've never even cashed that out, so it's basically like pretend money at this point. So we are a one income family, and so Ryan gets paid once a month, which I know a lot of people get paid every week or every 2 weeks, and that works for them. But honestly, I kind of like that we just get paid once a month. I feel like it makes it really easy. We just get all of our money at one time. We pay our bills. It's worked for us for the last over 5 years because Ryan's been at the same job since before we got married. Actually, even before we started dating, he's been at his job for a really long time, and thankfully has gotten raises over the years, so we're not still working from the same income we were initially. And it's, anyways, it's working for us. So I'm just going to go over what bills we do pay really quickly. Not necessarily the amounts, because I'm not like going to give specifics on how much we make, just because I feel like that's not really anybody's business exactly. Not that I care if people know, but I don't know. It just seems a little weird to talk about, and I feel like then it gets into this complicated, we make a lot of money or we make not enough money depending on where you live, what kind of job you do. I don't know. I feel like it's all relative, because depending on where you live, things are more or less expensive. You know, if you live in LA, things are expensive. If you live where we live, not quite as expensive. I'm sure there's cheaper places here in America and around the world, and way more expensive at the same time. So that's why I'm not going over exact numbers, because I feel like it's hard to explain everything. So anyways, what we do pay for monthly is, one, our rent. Obviously, we have to pay for where we live. We also pay for car insurance and renter's insurance. Renter's insurance is super cheap and just good to have just in case. And car insurance is required in America. Plus, even if it wasn't, we would have it because there are far too many car accidents that happen, and it's just really smart, in my opinion, to have car insurance, which I know not everyone can afford it. I'm not judging. I just feel like if you can afford it, car insurance is a really good move, because not everyone is very careful on the road. We also pay for life insurance. That's something, I think that was almost 2 years ago. It was like it was when I turned 24. I was like, I'm 24 years old. We just need to be responsible adults and get life insurance, because at the chance that something were to happen to me or to Ryan, I wouldn't want either of us being left in a bad spot financially. So now we are covered if anything happens to us like in the next 20 years. And that's not too expensive. That is only $50 a month. And for us, it's worth it at the very off chance anything were to happen, especially if something were to happen to Ryan. As he is the only one working, I would be left in a really crappy position. So now I have that security if, God forbid, anything were to happen to him. So for us, life insurance is definitely worth paying for. We do also pay for our health insurance. Again, it's like a security insurance thing, you know? So if anything does happen, we're at least somewhat covered or completely covered under certain circumstances. We have an electric bill every month. We also have a cell phone bill. We pay for internet, which, because I do YouTube, that's really non-optional to not have internet. Otherwise, I couldn't really be doing videos. I mean, I'm sure there's ways to do it, but it would be a lot more difficult. So we pay for that. We also tithe 10% or so every month. We also pay for a podcast. It was Ryan's, I think, birthday gift last year, either a birthday gift or Father's Day gift. I said, hey, we'll pay for this podcast you've been wanting for the next year. So, and that's only like $5 a month. So I feel like if that makes him happy, and he does listen to it all the time, so I don't think that's a bad expense personally. So after we pay all of those things, rent, car insurance, renter's insurance, life insurance, health insurance, electricity, cell phone bill, internet bill, tithing, and Ryan's podcast, everything else we make, which varies month to month slightly, depending on how Ryan's hours get cut off, everything else goes to food, gas, and household items that we needed, like toilet paper or diapers or shampoo or dish soap, you know, those types of things. That's where the rest of our money goes. Typically it works out. If we ever have extra expenses, we do pull from savings, but preferably we don't have to do that, especially since moving, because we have extra money, since not all of our money is going towards rent, which is really nice. And if we have a particularly good month where Ryan makes more money, due to, again, where hours get cut off because it's always slightly different, we do put some money in savings, but it's kind of rare that we end up doing that due to overspending on fun things, which I will get into in a moment. So anyways, that's our budget. This is the budgeting portion. That's how we do our money. We're really non-specific. I don't have a food budget or a gas budget. It's just we buy what we need, we buy what is necessary, and we buy what is fun, to be honest. And that's worked for us. This is what we've been doing for 5 years. We have money in the bank. We've always been able to pay our bills. I know some people wouldn't like our system. Some people would say we were irresponsible for not saving more, but it's worked for us so far. And I feel like even if you save a ton of money, you can still have something happen and lose it. And I'm not saying saving is bad. It's something I would like to do better at. But I'm just saying not all security is found in having money in the bank, because sometimes money in the bank doesn't do you any good. So we have fun with our money a lot of the time. We take short trips and we go out to eat and things, so we don't save as much as other people. I don't know why I'm going on such a ramble about that. But anyways, that's where our money goes. And then moving on to the other section of this video, our no spend challenge. Okay, so this was something I'd already kind of been thinking about doing, is trying to just cut back on extras. Like I said, since moving, we had that extra $300. But because it was the first time ever that we've just had like extra money since we got married, we've been eating out way too often. We've bought extra things for Aaliyah. We've bought just extra things we needed around the house that we've put off. We all got new shoes because, like, if you guys saw that vlog, which was forever ago, I haven't had proper winter boots in years, and I got some. That's something we wouldn't have done if we hadn't moved here, I don't think. We took that big trip for our 5th anniversary, which we spent a lot of money on, but we had a really good time, and it was our 5th anniversary, so I do not feel bad about that. But the thing is we wanted to be able to save money when we moved here, and we haven't really done that. And anyways, I also kind of went through that whole depression phase when we moved, and that also led to not very good spending. I kind of lost track on the whole minimalism thing, and I just was dealing with rough emotions, and I just was trying to shop my way out of that a little bit. Not a ton, like I didn't go crazy and buy a ton of stuff, but like I was buying stuff for Aaliyah a lot because it made her happy. I gained weight, so I had to buy new clothes, and I don't know, buying new clothes made me feel a little bit better. Anyways, point being, now that I'm kind of past that depression stuff and I'm trying to get refocused on minimalism and better spending, it led us to the no spend challenge, where I want to, like I said, get more focused on minimalism, quit buying things we don't need, quit overspending, and to be able to put more money into savings. And I guess I'll start with kind of my goal with the no spend challenge is put money in savings, but also to be able to take a couple trips this year without feeling financially stressed when we do so. We want to take one trip for our birthdays in April, because Ryan and I both have birthdays about a week apart in April, and I want to take like a 1 or 2 day trip for that. And then we also want to take a trip for Aaliyah's 4th birthday. We did it for her 2nd birthday, and it was just so much more fun than having a birthday party. We took her to the beach and she had a great time, so we would like to do something similar to that for her birthday. And I'd like to be able to have money for both of those things without feeling stressed about it. So that's kind of my big motivation there, as well as I'm really just wanting to focus on being thankful for what we have and to not be buying unnecessary things that just aren't making the planet any better, or, you know, just being a bit more eco-friendly by not purchasing brand new items that just create more waste and plastic and da-da-da. I feel like this subject just goes into too many other subjects, and I'm sorry. So yeah, those are my basic reasons for wanting to. And then also just because we're minimalists, I don't want to keep bringing more and more into the house. I also want to make healthier habits, which means not eating out so much. And so yeah, no spend challenge. Okay, here we go. The plan currently is to do the no spend challenge between January and April. If it goes well, I would really like to continue another 4 months. And if that goes well, we will continue through to the end of the year. That's assuming that Ryan and I both stay on board with this. If he's unhappy with how we're doing things, I won't necessarily continue with this. But I think we're both kind of in the same mind frame, so I think we will continue with it, but we're starting with January to April. January to April, man, I cannot talk. I'm gonna have to edit this video so much. So here's what we can spend money on. Bills, which I just went over with you guys. You saw what all of our bills are. We will continue paying all of our bills. Obviously, that is not really optional to just quit paying your bills. I mean, I guess you can, but then people come after you and you get in trouble. Gas for the car. Ryan is the only one who drives, so whatever driving he has to do, we pay for gas for that. Food, obviously, we still have to eat. But with that, I am going to try to be more reasonable, not buy overly expensive foods all the time, because sometimes we like to get fun foods, especially like vegan alternatives can add up and become expensive. So I'm wanting to focus on whole plant foods more for health reasons and for financial reasons. Household necessities, obviously we're still going to be buying things like body wash, hand soap, diapers as long as Aaliyah is still in them, which hopefully will not be for too much longer, toilet paper, things like that. Just things we need. That's something you, again, can't really quit purchasing. I don't know. You guys know what basic household items are, and those are always a part of like the budget. I have car repairs written down here. Hopefully we won't need any car repairs. We probably will have to get our oil changed at some point from here to April. I don't remember when we last did. So car repairs will be an acceptable thing, but hopefully no major car repairs come up, although we will also have to get our snow tires off at some point, and that's like $50 or $60, I think, unfortunately. I also have put on here as an acceptable thing is eating out 1 to 2 times a month. I'm doing that because I don't want to be unreasonable and set us up to fail, because the fact is we do like getting Thai food, and I've tried making it here and it is just not the same. So I am allowing us 1 to 2 times a month of eating out. But with that, I was going to add a note to say we did get money for Christmas from both my dad and Ryan's grandparents for date money. So using that money, I'm allowing whenever we want. That's not counting towards our no spend challenge, because that was a gift that is for us to spend on date nights or fun things. So that'll probably be going towards this 1 to 2 eating out things for this month and next month, because we have enough that it should last that long, depending on what we do with it. So yeah, that is an acceptable thing, and hopefully, as we are trying to be healthier people, we may not even eat out 1 to 2 times a month if we stick with this, but we shall see. Gifts for family. This was something I debated on, because I knew we could tell our family, like, hey, we're doing a no spend challenge, we just won't be buying gifts. But my plan is just to keep gifts inexpensive or homemade, like baking people cookies, or I don't know, making something nifty for people if we can come up with something, but mainly just keeping it inexpensive either way. We don't even buy gifts for everyone in my family, because like my sister and her husband are minimalists, and we typically don't buy them gifts because they don't want them. And like my mom's birthday is actually today as I'm filming this, but earlier this week we went and hung out and played games with her and her husband, and we brought over frozen strawberries to make this dessert thing, and that's what we did for her birthday. And so it was very inexpensive, but we all had fun, we got to hang out, and I think that's like a great plan as minimalists, and plus people just like having quality time. I think most people do. So that's what we did for her birthday, and we may continue doing things like that with other family members. This one has kind of an explanation with it as well. I put actual needs, as in we don't have something that is or could be doing the job of what we need. So let's say I decide I want a hat. Guess what? Ryan has a hat. I can borrow his hat. Like something like that. I don't need to go out and buy one. Or I don't know. You just find something, you're like, oh, I wish I had this. You got to think through, make sure you don't have something in your house that can do that job before going out and purchasing it. And again, with this, or anything we need to buy, I'm going to try to really focus on buying secondhand. If we can find it secondhand, that is a much better option than going out and buying new. Again, for eco-friendly reasons of not continuing the cycle of buying more and more and more stuff that just produces more and more and more stuff. Plus that gets into the whole fair trade thing, which I'm not going into right now, but we do prefer to buy things fair trade if possible. It's just really hard to find fair trade options, I feel like, where we live, unfortunately. I really wish we lived in a city that was more fair trade minded, but we don't. And then the last thing that is being allowed, because this has been in the plans for at least a year, is our phone contract is about up. Ryan and I both got new phones 2 years ago, and the plan is for Ryan to get a new phone and for me to switch to using his phone. And a big part of why we are even doing this, because I think otherwise we might not, is because the phone I'm currently using and I do all my videos on has very little storage on it. And it's a huge pain for doing YouTube with, and Ryan's phone has a crazy amount of storage. And so when I switch to his phone, it'll make doing YouTube so much easier for me, and you know, then I can actually like have a game on my phone or something fun like that, because right now I don't, because I don't have enough storage on my phone. And it'll just be nice, and I can actually have the YouTube app, because guess what? I'm a YouTuber. I've been a YouTuber for like 2 years, and I don't have the YouTube app on my phone because I don't have enough storage. Like, it's ridiculous. So we do have it as a okay thing to do, which I know seems a little silly in a no spend challenge, but it has been in the plans for a very long time. So we will be getting him a new phone and a new case for that phone to keep it safe, because he has a tendency of dropping his phones. So that will be happening. My current plan though is to wait until we get our income tax check back here in America. You pay taxes all year and then you get a tax return. I can't really go into the details because I don't even understand it that well. But anyways, we get a tax return every year, and I'm planning to use part of that to pay for Ryan's new phone, so it won't even be out of our typical month-to-month money. And we'll probably get that in like March. I feel like March is usually when we get our tax return back. Anyways, at some point, Ryan's getting a new phone. I will be getting his old phone, kind of like recycling, sort of. And then this will be my backup camera, which will be kind of cool because I can get 2 angles at one time if I want to. Which, will I do that? I don't know. But I like the idea of being able to. So yeah, that's in the plans. That is what we can spend money on. Now, on to what we are avoiding and where the no spend even comes into play. What we are avoiding. Toys. Toys are a weakness. As a parent with an adorable little child who gets excited about toys, it's hard to avoid, especially when very little things make her happy. Like, it can be $1 toy and she's like so excited about it. And it's really hard to say, oh no honey, we're not spending $1 on you. But the fact is she doesn't need $1 toys or $5 toys or $20 toys. Like, she has plenty of toys. She just got some new fun things for Christmas. It's another part of why I think this is a good time to start a no spend challenge, is because we all just got some fun new things. So we're not feeling the need for new stuff nearly as much as we may at different times during the year. So yeah, she does not need more toys. That is a number one, like, avoiding buying her toys and just fun little things that she doesn't really need. She has plenty of fun things here at home, so we will not be spending money on toys. Probably not even secondhand, because she just doesn't need them. And it's hard when we go secondhand shopping, and I'm just avoiding the secondhand stores unless we actually need something, because she always finds something she likes. Unneeded clothes. Again, with Aaliyah, it's really hard when we're walking through a store, like just grocery shopping, but we walk by clothes and I'm like, it's so cute. And typically I don't fall trap to this. Again, when I was going through the depression thing, I did a few times fall trap to this and buy her things she really didn't need. But as I'm getting out of that and as I'm getting refocused on not overspending, I think it will be easier to not buy unneeded clothes. Currently, I don't really need anything personally unless something of mine gets like totally destroyed. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Ryan just got new jeans, so hopefully he won't need anything new for a while. So yeah, unneeded clothes. That's another expense that we are avoiding. Overeating out, like I said, we are going to make exception for 1 to 2 times a month, but other than that, I don't want to be eating out because that's where a ton of our money has gone since moving. Unnecessary snacks and drinks. Again, that's just such an easy thing. You know, you're driving around, you get kind of hungry or thirsty and it's like, oh, hey, there's Starbucks, let's go get a coffee. But it's like, it's just unnecessary. We have coffee at home. Coffee is not a needed item. Honestly, at this moment, I'm considering giving it up. Don't hold me to it, but I'm considering it. So yeah, that is another thing we're trying to cut out. Unneeded household items. Since moving, that's been another hard thing for me to avoid because we're in a new home. I'm kind of nesting. I'm like wanting it to be cozy. And I have bought somewhat unneeded items for this home. And I'm going to try to not do that anymore. Unless we really need something for the house, I'm not going to buy it, which is hard for me. Like currently, one thing, we don't have a bathroom rug in our bathroom, but I just keep putting a towel on the floor. And I'm like, is it cute? Is it what I really want to be doing? No, not really, but it is a viable option. We throw the towel on the floor, we step on it after the shower. After a couple days, I throw it in the washing machine. It's cleaned, put it back on the floor. Or I hang it up really during the day and just put it back down when we're showering. Because it works and we have it. And so it's just one less thing to spend money on, one less item to have in the house. It's working. That was just an example, but things like that, I'm trying to not buy unneeded household items. And then last but not least, online shopping. I just feel like when you shop online, it is a danger. Even if you're buying something you actually do need, there's that like, oh, if you spend this much, then you get free shipping or this much off, you know, and then you buy more things that you don't necessarily need. So I'm avoiding online shopping. We do need to put in an Amazon order soon, but I'm going to make sure I am only buying items that we actually need, like things that we only get, like some of our vitamins. Amazon is the only place we've found them. My nutritional yeast I buy, it's such a good deal on Amazon and I use it like seriously every day. We really like nutritional yeast and things. So those are a couple items. I'm trying to remember. I don't know. There were some other things that I knew we needed, but I'm going to put in that order when it's actually necessary. And I'm waiting until that is the case. Yes. So that is what we are not spending money on. I think I basically covered everything in my notes here. And I was going to say another reason why we decided to do the no spend challenge, because I had said I had already been thinking about it, but then the Fairly Local Vegan, who is one of my favorite vegan YouTubers, and she's also a minimalist and a mom, and I just really like her, and she's really funny, and she's also gluten-free vegan, so that's cool. We have quite a few things in common there. Not everything, but I really do like her, and she did a video on a no spend challenge because they did it last year and they're doing it again. They are trying to pay down debt, which that is a benefit we have. We do not have any debt. So financially, we're set a little bit there, whereas we're not trying to pay that off. It's one less expense. But anyways, her video kind of inspired me even more to do it. And yeah, if I remember to, I might link her video down below because I just really like her. And if you guys haven't seen her, you should definitely check out her channel. So yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments or anything related to finances or the no spend challenge or what we are or are not spending money on, please leave them below. My goodness, I am sorry guys. I really wanted this to be more precise and quick, but it turned into a very long video. So I hope you enjoyed it. Again, any questions or comments, leave them below and I'll be back soon. Bye guys.